Right. It is Friday. It is 2 p.m. my time. And I'm going to be streaming some AI coding experiments today. As always, if the background music is too soft or too loud, let me know. Or if it switches off. It's one of the biggest things I struggle with on these streams is getting the background audio right. Okay, so for today, I'm going to be working on a Markdown Exporter plugin that I built about 2 months ago. If you want to see the original build, you can find it here. It's on my YouTube page. It's about 2 months ago. 3rd of Feb, yeah, about 2 months ago. So that's what I have. And essentially, somebody that I know in the WordPress community wanted a plugin that exports all posts to Markdown, which is what we have here. More recently, that person was kind enough, Remkus was kind enough to log some issues for me. So the goal is going to be to fix those issues today. Images are not included in the export, links are not included, lists are not correctly included, and then some changes around where the menu exists. So the plan is going to be to work on those today. I'm going to try, as always, to let the cursor AI tool do most of the work for me, and I'm just going to keep an eye on things. I'm really hoping that I have better results this week than I did last week. Last week was just a nightmare, personally. I've had a couple of people actually reach out and share their what's the word? Their hilarity at my expense. So I'm glad that my frustration last week gave folks something to enjoy. Maybe that'll be the stream going forward, me getting frustrated. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this today is because I believe that it's possible to give Cursor links to GitHub issues and then get it to fix those issues. So that's the plan for today. I'll probably do a little bit of manual testing of the issues in a local WordPress install, just to kind of see what the issue is, get an idea in my head about what's going on before I let the tool fix the problem, because I want to be able to test that as well. I was also thinking about there are some tests that were created last time. There's actually a test class and a run test file. I was thinking maybe looking at those and improving those, but for now I'm just going to do some manual testing and just see how that handles. So let me just remind myself how this plugin works. So I've got it installed here in my local environment. I'm going to activate it. And I've imported all of the posts from my personal blog, which I don't mind sharing because my blog is all public anyway, and any post that I have in Draftshare I would have published at some point, or planned to publish at some point, or was hoping to publish at some point. So it's not like it's any private information on my personal blog. You'll see I do have a bunch of drafts that I've been working on that I just never got around to finishing in, like my 2024 year in review. So yeah, I'm just going to use those and just see what happens. I think what I am going to just do is just check. Okay, so it was posts. That's fine. We wanted to add the month and date prefix to files names. We wanted to export to Markdown. So that seems to have worked. Then we want to download the export. I'm just going to stick this on my desktop somewhere. Let's create a new folder here and just call this Markdown Exports for now. And then let's see what that outputs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have PHP Storm open to open up those folders so that we can see what it creates. There's that export. Okay, so I'm already seeing a couple of issues myself. Probably with some of the early coding style things. I think maybe what I need to do is focus more on the more recent stuff, because I was using block code for some of those, I think. Okay, so this is the images by the looks of it, which is great. I'll try and find one that had some code. I might need to create some test posts. Okay, the images definitely fail. So that we're going to have to work on. Okay. Okay, here's a good one. This is why developers should blog more. Let's go find that one. I just want to see what code I'm using. Oh, that's using the syntax highlighter code block. Okay. So it looks like Remkus doesn't use code in his blog posts because he hasn't noticed that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch this over to using the default core code block. And then that'll be a good test of the code conversion. So I think it's just code. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so there's a code block. I'm going to have to fix all of these. Okay, well this is not a bad example actually, because it's got a list. This is actually a nice blog post. It's got a list, it's got some code. Looks like there's an inline image here. No, that's a Twitter embed, but also not a bad one to use to test. So I'm going to go ahead and fix all of these quickly. Just keep them all as HTML. Okay, so this is a great example of some code. I likely should have done this beforehand, but anyway. Come on. There we go. So let's cut that out. Now what I'm probably going to need to do is give it specific examples of what it should do with these code blocks. That's fine. I don't know why it jumps up so quickly. Okay. No. Okay, that fixes that one. Okay, so there's a nice example. So that's a good one to save. Let's just... Okay, so why developers should blog more is a good one. Oh, I missed this one. Okay. Hey, Skulk! Those who don't know Skulk, he's a front-end developer. and JavaScript and front-end expert from Cape Town. Skulk and I know each other through the local ZA Tech Slack and various other places. Thanks for joining, dude. I'm just busy fixing up a blog post so that I can export it to Markdown and see what happens. All right, so let's save that one. So that's a good one. So I think what I'm going to do to make my life easier is I'm going to, so this post should have a featured image, which it already does have. And then I want to add an image inline. Then I can use this post as a test. So let's go to the media library. Let me just find something funky we can use. I'm just going to use this one, just for the sake of something random. Okay, so that'll do. All right. So this is the blog post that I'm going to use as a test. I'm going to delete everything else. Just keep this one. Let's go to drafts. Let's just clear out all the drafts. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch first to draft mode. And then I'm going to delete all the published ones. I'm going to have to do this. It's going to take forever. I wonder if it'll be easier just to... Well, I deleted all the drafts. It's because I deleted all... I only deleted all the drafts on the... on that page. You can't delete them all in one shot. So I'm going to just copy this out for now. I'll just stick it in a Scratch file. There we go. And then, what if there's a WP CLI where you can just delete all blog posts? Or something. Post delete. And more force, recalculate. All posts, here we go. All right. So I'm going to run that from the root of the site. No, not copy and paste. Idiot. Okay. It hasn't trashed all of them. Oh, post. Delete all pages, not posts. Stupid. Post type post. Go away. Okay. So that's all posts that have been trashed. They're probably all sitting in the bin. That's perfect. Then that means that I should be able to find the this is why one. This is why. Yeah, there we go. We're going to restore that. And then I'm just going to randomly restore a couple of recent ones. So let's restore. This one's a good one because it's got some images in it. So let's restore that one. Like one of the reviews that I wrote a while back. Yeah, let's restore that one. And then let's find another good one to restore. This would be a good one for some commands and stuff. Different versions of PHP, so running different PHP versions. Okay, let's restore that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty the recycle bin. That could take a while. And then I'll have 3 blog posts that I can test with. I might have to fix up that PHP versions one. So I'm just going to have a look at that quickly. Now it's nice and slow because it's trashing all these other posts. I could have done this as well, I suppose. Probably would have been quicker. Anyway, it's done now. Okay, so we've got all those in draft. So let's just check this PHP versions one. Oh, this is actually using the default code editor, so that's great. The default code block, should I say? Yeah, that's using the default code block, so that's cool. There's some custom. Okay, so that one will need to get fixed. At one point I was trying to have like a shell thing. Never really got around to fixing it. Anyway. For now we'll just use code. Yeah. Okay. Ah, great. It's lost something here. It's fine. Let's just format that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Again. I guess I'm going to copy it before I convert it. It might make my life easier. Let's try this way. Yeah, there we go. For some reason I was using 2 different code blocks at some point in time. No idea why. It's fine. Okay, that's good. All right. So let's publish that. Let's publish this one. Now this one, I think it's got some images inside of it. It's also got a quote. It's got some images. It's got a video embed, so that's cool. We'll see what it does with that. It's got some lists. Okay, so that's going to work. So we'll use that one. And then this is the blogmore one. Just publish that. Okay, so I want to see now what this does. By default, these things... Actually, I can remove this image then, because the other one has images. Let's delete that. Okay. So at least we've got some decent sample data to work with. Okay. Now let's do an export. So let's delete this. Let's export to Markdown. We'll export all posts. Okay, it's exported those, so let's download it. Let's see what we've got. That was the old one. Oh, it hasn't refreshed. Weird. Oh, it's... Huh? How does it still have all of those? I deleted you all. Oh, you know what it's probably done? It probably hasn't cleared... That's a bug. Probably hasn't cleared the existing one. I gotta remember where this is all stored. Studio. There we go. PNW content. Uploads, I think. No, not that one. That one. Ah, interesting. So it's done. It hasn't. It's probably. That's probably a bug. Yeah, you see the newer ones are created here. So it's just, it hasn't cleared out the old folder. Interesting. Okay. I might want to log that as an issue. Clear out previous export. Export is created with the same, created on the same date. Okay, so I'll create that for now. Come back to it in a bit. For now, I'm going to just delete the directory. Let's delete this again. And let's do another export. Okay. I should check that as just the file names. Oh, it didn't create the directory. That's weird. Could create it earlier though. No, that's the wrong place. Why can't it now suddenly create the directory? Oh, you know, it might be because it gets created on activation, maybe? Seems weird that it can't create it. Got to check that one. Okay. Okay, video's got three files. Okay, cool. So if we have a look at these, we can see that the quote seems to be working. The list seems to be working. That's an ordered list. Was that an ordered list on the post? Yeah, it was an ordered list. So it'd be interesting to see what lists are not correctly included is all about. Some lists, but not all. Sometimes the first two bullet items, but the rest is ignored. Oh, okay. To check on that one. It might be. I wonder if it's an indented list. Like. Okay, well, there's 3 there. Alright. Let's have a look at that. The images is definitely a problem. So we're going to have to fix that. That seems to be working. Interesting. Ah, clicking on the wrong thing. Let's see if this one's environmental certified, blah blah blah. Ah. There's no like this list. Breakdown of the bag dimensions and other details. This list went wonky. So it looks like it's unordered lists, and that looks like the wrong formatting anyway. Okay. So it looks like ordered lists it has no problem with, but unordered lists it doesn't work correctly. Images it definitely has a problem with. And what's the other thing that Remkus said? Lists are not okay. So lists we definitely picked up a problem. I'm going to make here. Looks like ordered lists are fine, but not unordered lists. Okay. Links are not included. I'm definitely seeing that because I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of links in this post. Yeah, there. All right. It looks like it hasn't included the YouTube embed either. This is a video embed, so ideally it would just like link to the video or something. I don't know how often people would want this. So this is a gallery, so that's going to be a tricky one. I don't know if we can tell it to compare, look at galleries and be aware of galleries. So I might just ignore galleries, but I do think it should pick up just general images. So we do have one there, for example, and one there. So I'm going to focus on those. Okay, and then yeah. Okay, so for now I'm just going to focus on for this version. Going to just focus on single image blocks, not image galleries. Okay. So I've verified all the issues. I'm happy with that. Let's see if we can tell Copilot to fix these. All right. So to help Jan Copilot along, I'm going to switch to the code editor. And I'm going to find the block markup for a single image. My phone just buzzed, and so I just want to check something. Nothing important at this point. Okay, let's find Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So there are 2 examples of images. Okay. So let's start with, let's see if this will work. Example block image markup. I'm going to give the issue the image markup. Ideally should be converted to, and now I have to go and look up markup, image markup, markdown syntax, markdown image syntax. That's what I'm looking for. So it should convert it to this. Now, one thing I am noticing is that I haven't put any alt text on these images, naughty boy. So I'm going to fix that on the last 2 quickly, so we can get the alt text. The contents bag. Save that, and then out of bag. And say image of all contents packed. Ideally, it should use that as the label. Okay, so let's switch back to the code editor. Okay. Let's grab this one. Okay. So now the ideally this should be converted to this, and we will take the now what's interesting is I don't necessarily I don't want the scaled image, I want the original image. So a little SQLite viewer for Studio that I wrote. So I'm going to just connect it to this database. I think this is the version that doesn't have the blast. I think I need the latest version, which has the scrolling on the left-hand side here. Just go and confirm that. Oh no, I haven't. Thought I'd fixed those. I honestly have no idea if this is the latest version or not. Anyway, I can probably get this elsewhere. Let's go to media. Let's just check ID. There we go. Okay, so this needs to get the original image. So, I don't know about you guys, but the music currently is driving me crazy. I'm gonna switch songs. Okay, so that should be the image. So that. That. Okay. Fetch the original image based on image ID. Here's the image. Alt text. Here's the image. Markdown. No alt text. Here's the image. Okay, so let's see if I can. It's a lot of work that I just did there. That wasn't lost. That wasn't code. What I'm hoping to be able to do is tell Cursor to just read the GitHub issue, read the solution, and update the code to match. That's what I'm hoping happens. Whether it happens or not is another story, but let's see. Okay, so just spent 39 minutes setting all this up. Let's add the converter. So let's first tell the agent to explore the code. Explore this WordPress plugin code. Sure. And summarize its functionality. Trying to give this some context. Okay, it's WordPress to Markdown Exporter. All right. Okay. Read GitHub issue. This GitHub issue. Let's give it the link. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want. And suggest way to fix bug. I'm probably had a nested list items. What? What? This is, oh, come on, it's broken again. Images. Where did you get list items? Ah, my word. Did you read the GitHub issue? Like, what am I doing wrong? I swear sometimes I feel like I'm the problem. Yeah. Let's just go back to here. Yes. Okay, let's try this again. So, read this GitHub issue. Supposedly you can give it Maybe if I just paste the link. Okay, that might work better. And suggest a fix on the issue. Must have done that wrong. Okay, image handling. Here we go. Modify the converter class to properly handle WordPress image blocks and convert them to Markdown format. Let me check the current image conversion code. Okay. Okay, that looks good. WP image, WP image. Yeah, that seems to be better. Okay, let's see what suggestions this has made. Okay. It looks like it wasn't even handling images. Okay. So that seems fine. Oh, I just accepted them all instead of going through them. Okay, that seems fine. Where's this now? Convert to the image block. Okay. Okay. So it looks like this is a new function to handle that. All right. Okay, so it looks like that might be fixed. Let's see what happens. So if we go here and we delete our exports, it's going to overwrite the download when I do the export, but that's fine. We can fix that later. Let's go back to here. Let's run it again. Ooh, file put contents. Oh, it's because failed to open stream. This has got to do with that folder issue that I had earlier, I'm sure of it. I bet you that's a studio issue. Ugh. Remember, I created these myself manually. Okay, let's see here. Class WP to MD exporter line 151. Okay, I need to figure out where this thing is creating that folder. Create export directory, there it is. And,
in your warm embrace, I lose myself. Nothing else matters. In time and space, there's nothing else. No. 'Cause I've been waiting for my whole life for one like you to light up the sky.
okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to disable this plugin, and then I'm going to go and delete that. I'm going to activate the plugin again. It should recreate. No, it hasn't. Why hasn't it? Okay, let's try and do an export again. Okay, that seems to have worked. Okay, need to look into why that did that. Probably because I was fiddling with it. That's fine. Let's download this. Let's see what it's created. Okay. Okay, this block gallery stuff is fine. I expected that to be the problem. So let's go to the last two. Still hasn't fixed those. Okay. You watch, I'm going to spend the rest of the stream just trying to fix this. The output of the image is still incorrect. Okay, so now instead of just looking for image, it's also looking for the figure. Okay, so that should fix that problem. Okay, let's see if that fixes it. Just going to override the current one. Fine. Oh, I could just delete that one actually. Okay, let's see what we've got. Still doesn't seem right. You're actually going to be here all day. You're joking, right? Carolina with export maintainer comment. There's no ways I'm taking that on with AI, that's for sure. But I do know that. Okay, let's try this again. Now I'm getting this error again. I don't know why. I don't know why when I delete files manually, it causes this problem. It's the most annoying thing. It's almost like something that I do in the terminal affects permissions or something. It's frustrating. Let's go back and deactivate and activate the plugin. Now it can't create the folder. Come on. Come on. Actually, this is a studio thing. I'm going to stop studio and start it up again. Oh, great. Now I'm getting other errors. Oh, come on. Master repeating the exporter. Ugh. I have a feeling these file permission issues is something to do with the studio being weird. So let's try that again. Okay, don't know why that happens. I need to make a note of that. Okay. No, still not working. Hey, Ryan. Carolina says I've not used Studio enough to know anything about it. Yeah, I'm not sure myself. Seems if I restart it, fixes the problem. So it's definitely some kind of weird file permissions issue. Output in the Markdown file is still incorrect. Let's see what it does with that. I see the issue now. That's what you said last time. You see now, this is the point where I would start writing unit tests. And I would give it a sample like block format. And then I would have the unit test that checks that it's resulting in the correct format. And then I would fix the code until it does. I feel like maybe this is what I need to start doing with this. Because the current process that I'm using is annoying. The fact that I have to download and test and fix all of that. Ryan says it's a liar. It says the same thing to me too. I know. I hate it when it says that. I hate it when it says I know what the problem is. It's like, that's what you said last time, and you didn't know what the problem was then. You horrible thing, you. So let's try this again. Let's see if it has fixed the problem. Okay, let's download the export. Nope. This is so annoying. You know, the funny thing is it could probably work better if I use like the HTML API or something. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what we're getting in the image block matches. This music. I'm not one for coding to dubstep, to be honest. I'm gonna switch to something a little bit more blinky blonky. Okay, let's see. Why is this throwing me an error? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, okay, that's PHP CS error. Alright, just do that. Tell it to go away. Alright, let's see what we're getting in the image matches when we export. Oh, it's not getting there. So the original match is not being found. That's the problem. So this regex is probably failing. Let's test that. Yeah, this music is not much better. Anyway. Here we go. It looks like it is actually finding something. Okay, so then are we getting to the handled blocks point? I guess is the next question. Okay, let's see if that gives me something in there. Look. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. This is the original format, not the image block. I messed myself up. Stupid. I forgot that when it's exporting the rendered content, not the block content. So my GitHub issue was incorrect. So this was incorrect. Okay, so let's change this. So as one of my college professors used to say, it's not the tool, it's the fool behind the tool. The problem there is I was hoping it would get it from the block markup, not the rendered markup. So that's frustrating. See, this doesn't contain the original image. Well, I suppose you can get the ID there. See, I wanted this to hook into the original block markup and pull from there. Interesting. Okay. Let's see if we can fix that. So, let's go back here. Man, I keep forgetting I'm on a Mac and my copy-paste options are different. So copy. Why is it? It's not copying from the last. Okay, let me just get the debug log open. Not gonna lie, this is one of the things that I don't like about AI coding, is when you actually have to dive into what's going on, you have no concept of what the thing has done. Because I didn't write this original code, so I've got no clue of how it was put together. I essentially vibe coded it, so I don't actually know even what it's doing, how it works. You know, the fact that I thought it was pulling from the block code, not the rendered code, the rendered markup. So it's kind of why I'm having these issues. And I have one or two choices now. I can either refactor it to pull the block markup from the database, which is what I wanted it to do originally. I'm trying to remember if I had that in the requirements. Convert HTML content. Convert. You see, I did say convert blocks. So there's one of two things I can do here. I can scrap everything we've just done and tell it to convert from the block markup stored in the database, not the rendered content. To do that, I need to have a good idea of what it's doing. So I'm going to have a look at that first. Or I can use this as is, but then it means it has to get the ID from there and pull from somewhere else. I prefer the first version. Make a backup first. Yeah, don't worry, Carolina. It's in Git. It's stored in GitHub, so we're fine there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take it back a step and make sure it's pulling from the raw content, because that's what I wanted it to do when I first wrote this. So what I am going to do is I'm going to create a branch. I'm going to call it attempt to fix images Attempted to fix images, discovered that plugin isn't converting raw content. And I'm just going to keep a copy of that lying around, just in case. All right, now I'm going to create another branch. Get your customer must be. We call it convert raw content. Okay, let's go to a new agent. And let's see what it does. The plugin is currently converting rendered content. Correct. It should convert raw block markup from the post content. Thing is, it's gonna change so much of the regex. What if it's It's certainly easier to convert HTML to Markdown. See, because it's running a standard WP query. Post page -1. That's not ideal. Sort of when you start looking at the code, you start seeing the issues. I mean, maybe for the functionality that it's doing, it's not the end of the world. So it creates a new exporter. Creates the directory, it gets the posts using a WP query, queries the posts. So maybe very probably. But fortunately, I think the plugin checks would pick up a lot of the issues as defined by last week's live stream. So I think a lot of the vibe coded plugins will fail a lot of those plugin check issues and won't get through to the plugin reviewers themselves. Just because it doesn't but that hasn't been said. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we could find out quickly. We could see how well this plugin does. Let's do that. That's actually a really good question. I know this is completely off topic today, but that's a really good question. So let's find out. Exactly. Let's install plugin check and see what plugin check gives us. Because this plugin I vibe coded a couple of months ago. So let's do a plugin check and see plugin check and see if it passes. Not gonna lie, I love the fact that plugin check's abbreviation is PCP, which is like an abbreviation for some like street drug. That's just an unfortunate abbreviation. But anyway, okay, let's do a plugin check and see. Let's see how it does. So let's just do plugin repo. Let's just see what comes up for plugin repo. I mean, there you go. Mismatched text domains already. so those kinds of things will come up. That seems to be the only issue there. But here's some more errors, strip tags. So yeah, I actually, yeah, I think it's great that we have those checks in place, because they run against new plugin submissions automatically. And yeah, if it's vibe coded, you get this kind of stuff. I don't know what to do now. I don't know. I think for the purposes of why I'm building the plugin, which is literally for one person, which is Remkus, is the guy who asked for it, I'm going to continue down the path we're on. Purely because it's probably easier to convert HTML to Markdown. But I wanted it to convert block code. That's what I wanted it to do. But I guess it couldn't do that. So let's go back to where we were. So let's go get checkout main, and let's say get checkout attempt to fix images. Okay. So now that we have that information, we know what we're doing with it. Let's do this. I wonder if it'll... Well, that's kind of the thing, is if I use the rendered content, then I have to tell it to find the image ID and then pull the image, which is not the end of the world, I guess, because the image ID is there, it's in the class that gets rendered. So it's really not the end of the world. But that's actually a great question. The concern that I have is the scaled part looks like it contains this, which is probably some randomly generated string. I suppose maybe it's possible. To be sure, though, I'd prefer to get the ID from here, which it should have, and do it that way. But that's a good possibility. Something to think about. Okay, let's update the comment, and then let's say this. Okay, so let's go back to... Actually, I'm going to go all the way back to the start. And I'm going to create a new branch. Image, fix, image, markup, markdown, markup, markdown. I don't know. I'm going to say attempt 1, attempt 2. Okay. Ah, let's create a branch. Right, now let's try this again. So let's create a new chat. Let's open up a converter. Okay. Now let's give it the new issue. Okay. So the original image is that there, and as you pointed out, theoretically you should be able to remove everything after the hash, the scale, all of that. So regex should be able to handle that, but I want to see if it can get it from the ID first. Okay, so it looks like what it's doing is it's adding a function specifically for block images. I don't know why it's freaking out about doing that. Now it seems to be stuck on something. Why? What are you doing? Why? Why? What is this thing doing? Okay. Hope so. Okay. Let's see what that does. Oh, goody. Okay, this is fine because this was a gallery, but I think it's actually just broken the whole thing. Maybe not. It's just okay. That's in the gallery. That's fine. Let's go to the single. Let's go to the single ones. It's just broken the whole thing. No. Ugh. No. I feel like this thing has gotten stupid. Stupider. I really do. Like last week was really frustrating, and this week is just as frustrating. I feel like Cursor has just got dumber. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not logging anything, so let's see what we get from matches. Regex is wrong. I think. Okay. So if their content is much as 1, that sounds, so there's the content. Doesn't have the alt. Doesn't have the alt text. Now the match looks like it's working, but that's not what I'm seeing. I wonder if it's because it's being rendered that way. Let's just have a look at something quickly. Yeah. What it just needs to do is it just needs to pull that. And I feel like this is where the HTML API would be perfect. Because the HTML API, I could probably pass it this. And then get the next image cell. And then get the contents. Another frustrating day coding with AI. This is all completely wrong based on this. What it's expecting is this. What it's getting is that. Why? I'm going to check the content now and see. It's possible it's the link first. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's probably what it is. So let's do the images first. I feel like this could be handled so much better with the HTML API. And like this image conversion is probably not even necessary. Ugh. See what that does. Because AI, that's why. It's not bright enough to figure out it needs to delete one. Okay. Okay, that's looking a bit better. So it looks like it was the links that were causing issues. Yeah, it looks like it was the links. Well spotted, Carolina. It's still not getting the image ID though. No, I think the original. No, possibly. I honestly think the code is just assuming that there would be a standard image block. So I don't know. This at least works, which is fine. Don't like the fact that it's not getting the ID. At least now it's probably getting, yeah, it's probably getting the decent content now because it hasn't done the links first. Let's see if we can tell it to get the ID, to get the original image. Okay, let's try a new agent for this one. The convert block image function. First attempt to extract the image ID from the image class. Image tags class. And fetch the original image from the media library. If that image can't be found, fall back to the image tags source attributes. Now let's see if it understands what it needs to do there. Okay, looks like it's trying. Okay, so let's try that. Let's comment out. Yeah, that's fine. It's taking that out. That's fine. Okay, doesn't see any more error logs in here. So let's try this version. It's still getting the scaled image. It should have worked then. Just lost audio. Opened up something and lost audio. Oh, there we go. Seems to be working again. Don't know what happened there. Once again. Don't like this song. Okay, let's see what's happened here. Still getting the scaled image. Definitely getting the ID. Why is it not getting... Three one three 31139. Which one? I'm trying to remember which one this is. So what if it's just getting... Right, 31139. Okay, that's perfect. So it will be... Three 139. Oh! Attachment, oh, it's attachment URL, not it's the original URL. No, I need to... I want the original URL. Give me PHP Storm any day of the week. This is the one that I need. Maybe that scaled one is the original. Don't feel like it is though. 31139. Let's have a look. Oh, it does. Idiot. I've been having some interesting days today. Okay, so that does seem right. Cool. Okay, so that is working. Let's go back to here. Okay, so that is the scaled image. Don't know why I uploaded it like that, but that seems... See, that was the original image there. That's the image I'm looking for. That's the one that I want to get. This one. So that's not scaled. So I want to know how to get that image. It's like a raw image you're asking. Probably finding out a raw image or something. This is the one that I want. So this isn't scaled. Get raw image. I want the function for the raw image. Don't read it. Touch. It's not really what I want though. Okay, what I want to do is I want to know what is the function that gets that. Let's see if we can find that. This isn't JavaScript. Yeah, get original image. Oh, there we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. There we go. Okay, that required me to do some digging. I wonder if... Let's see. I wonder if this could have fixed it for me. So it says here, it tries to get the original image URL from the WordPress media library. Okay. Let's see. If an image ID is found, it is using the WP get attachment URL function. However, this returns scaled image to return the original uploaded image. Let's see if it'll find that. WP get original. Okay, so if I'd have told the AI tool, it actually would have helped me there. That's funny. So it can be useful in very specific. I like what it's doing. It's actually getting original URL. If it doesn't have that, then it's falling back to attachment, which is not a bad thing actually. So that's actually not bad. I don't have too much of a problem with that. So let's test that out. Let's go back to here and delete these. The fact that I don't have tests to run to test this annoys me. Should have done that a long time ago. Where were we? Okay, let's see what we got now. Okay, that's better. Now let's get in the original image. That's much better. It's actually working with a gallery as well, which is kind of cool. I wonder if we can actually just tell it to remove the block gallery code. And then it'll fix that problem. That's... I don't know what to do with that, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's an issue for another day. To be perfectly honest. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay. When a gallery... Hey Troy, give me a sec. When a gallery is used, a set of block images is often wrapped in a tag with the class I'm just gonna remove the figure tag surround any images in such a gallery. So I'm trying to fix issues in a Markdown exporter plugin that I wrote a while back. We've spent literally the last 2 hours fixing the fact that images are not working. Half of it was my fault, half of it was Cursor's fault, but we're actually kind of getting somewhere now. So I'm just busy wrapping up the last few things. Right, let's see what this has added. Oh, now it's actually converting galleries. Interesting. Let's see what the next one does. So convert gallery. Oh, that's kind of clever. So it's actually in the gallery conversion, it's then converting the block images. So that's kind of interesting. So let's see what that does. Let's export again. Was that the part you removed? Essentially, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Carolina. When you say removed, maybe you could explain? It hasn't got rid of the last figure. It's done the rest by the looks of it, which is fine. So let's just say there were 2 image conversions. No, the original image is still there. As I say, I think the reason that one is there is because it just assumed that image tags were regular image tags. So it's probably superfluous code now. I think it's still there. Let me just check. Yeah, they convert the image. Yeah, it's still there. It's still doing that. I left it there as a fallback. But it's not going to find. It shouldn't find anything because we're converting the block images first, so it shouldn't find anything. But I'm leaving it there as a fallback. Okay, let's just go here. Fix this. And then say, let's just go to the convert gallery one. There is still a closing figure tag when the gallery is converted. Okay, let's see if that works. No, it's still there. This I get a lot when I'm coding with AI. And this is one of the reasons I still don't fully vibe code when I'm working with WordPress projects, because I know I could probably fix this myself. But you'll still get a bug that you just told it to fix, and it'll update the code, and it'll say it's fixed, and then it's not fixed. And I find that so annoying. And sometimes you need to run it like once or twice. Yeah, it's just that. I feel like the first thing I need to do before I work on this plugin again is implement some decent testing, because I can't handle manually doing this all the time. And I don't trust the test runner that was implemented by the AI code. That's the irony. I'm hoping this is going to work now. Nope. Ah. Still there. Okay. I've had enough of this. It's taken me 2 hours. I haven't fixed one bug. I'm going to call it a day. I am going to, however, commit this. To the branch. Working on fixing images and galleries. And if anybody feels like having a look, the repo is available. It's WP to Markdown Exporter in my GitHub account. You're welcome to go check out the branch. Troy says, I like Cursor for helping me find new functions. Yes, that was helpful earlier. Finding new functions, helping guide me. But there hasn't been a time where I haven't made lots of changes while working with it. Absolutely. I am honestly, personally, I am kind of defaulting back to using PHP Storm with GitHub Copilot. I'm finding Cursor to be useful for prototyping, especially in new languages, stuff that I'm not used to. But fixing bugs and stuff, I still haven't figured out a good workflow for using AI tools. I'm going to maybe try next week and do some bugs in GitHub Copilot and see if I can get a better response in PHP Storm. I'll just need to configure my PHP Storm properly for myself for using Copilot. I haven't coded in a while. But yeah, so far it's amazing because I have vibe coded products. I mean, the SQLite VO that has just thrown an error. I vibe coded the WP debug Electron app. I vibe coded. So yeah, definitely. If you have a very focused product that you want to build and you have a start and an end and you know what you're working towards and you never need to fix anything or add anything to it, it's great. But as soon as you need to add functionality or fix bugs, it starts becoming a problem. So I still kind of haven't figured out like a good workflow around that. But we'll see. There's definitely times today where it was useful, and there's definitely times today where I wanted to throw my keyboard against the wall. So that's how I'm going to end it today, folks. I will probably pick up fixing bugs on this next week. I'm going to try and see if I can fix the test runner before next week, so it actually tests. I'm going to maybe take so it actually tests against some things and runs it manually for me or something and generates files or something manually automatically, so I don't have to keep downloading everything, because that was just painful. I'll see if I have some time to do that before next weekend. Otherwise, maybe I'll just do that next week, and then we can see if we can fix some more bugs. But that's it for me today, folks. I hope you have a great Friday and weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye.